kick, the drummer kick die. Let the drummer kick.
Ricky Williams rocks to the Hall of Fame.
Every time he touched the ball, he sprinted the length of the field.
1998 Heisman Memorial Trophy. Ricky Williams.
Ricky has the heart of a yogi and the body of a football player.
He comes across as selfish because he's so involved with finding out about himself, but that's what everybody wants to do, find out about him or herself.
Because I've been a professional football player and I've had a lot of success, and because people can see my body getting physically abused, I lend a lot of credibility to people who are interested or know that there's something in, alternative healing. So when I was playing football, I started my path as a healer, and it's a very interesting story. And so what I'd like to do with this is just open doors or just activate that place in people where they know there has to be a different possibility. And I'm not saying that my path or the things that I've been through or things that I'm interested in are going to be an answer for them, but I think at least it'll inspire them to know that there's more out there if they're willing to be open to it. Most people aren't really that in touch or aren't aware of our bodies. And as a football player, because I was using my body on a daily basis, I was aware. Unfortunately, most of the time I was just aware of when it was hurting or when there was pain. And so as I progressed in my career, I looked at it and I said, wow, I spend 6 months of the year destroying my body so intensely. And so for me, I started spending the 6 months of the off season kind of nurturing and taking care of my body intensely. And it made a huge difference. So for me, what I found is when I was a football player, I'd look at and I didn't really look at it except in passing. Then I would see like yoga, or I would see energy healing, and I would see all these things. I was like, that stuff is crap. But when I actually ended up with it in my face, it was something that I could perceive myself. The first place I went, and I wasn't aware that it had anything to do with healing because it was just about food, was I met this woman in Florida named Sarah Melman, and she had something called dietary progressions. And I started working with her to lose weight. But what I found is everything in my life changed. And I started looking at things a different way. And it didn't have to do with other people, it really had to do with myself. Because as a football player, especially in Miami where I was carrying the ball, I led the NFL in attempts 2 years in a row, and I'm a very physical runner, so my body was taking a lot of beating. And one day I was sitting in the training room getting treatment before practice, and I was watching the guys come in the training room, and the guys would come and they'd go to the trainer and they'd put their hands out and he would put anti-inflammatories. But when I looked at this, I realized probably 85 to 90% of our team had to have an anti-inflammatory just to practice. When you allow your body to assist you in creating the kind of life you want to have, then anything becomes possible. Like, how many people are slowed down or stopped or controlled or halted or by their bodies? It's like an example of someone who has diabetes or cancer, or someone has a bad injury. The doctor says you'll never walk again, or the doctor says you only have 6 months to live, or the doctor say you have to do this in order to give yourself a 20% chance to live. And I think when people hear that, it's like they know somewhere deep inside there has to be another way. There has to be a different possibility. Yes, I can influence people. I can change things. I can contribute to the world. I have something to give.
Well, the point of the film is the question, not necessarily the answer, of what of the things we're exploring and how can we use those things. So what is there and how can we use these things?